Beloved, if a man can open his mouth and speak poison into your spirit and you stay, then I need you to hear me with your whole soul today. This ain't just about red flags, sugar. This is about sacred warnings, divine alarms, echoes of your grandmother's prayers begging you to wake up. Because when a man tells you who he is, with cruelty in his tone, with dishonor in his words, with disregard dressed up as truth, you better believe him the first time, not the 10th, not after your tears, not when you're lying to yourself and calling it patience. No, baby. When his voice sounds like a cage, when his love feels like a threat, when his words twist you into something smaller than God created you to be, that is not love. That is your lesson. And today, we gon' tell the truth about it. That voice, that whisper, that ache in your gut that says something ain't right. But you quiet it, you reason with it, you tell yourself, he didn't mean it like that, or he's just going through something, or I don't want to start a fight. But what you don't realize is that every time you silence that voice, your own sacred knowing, you're abandoning yourself a little more. And the cost, my love, is you. See, there are some things a man should never say to a woman he claims to love. Not in anger, not in jest, not even in his truth. Because a man who knows what it means to hold a woman emotionally, spiritually, tenderly, he will guard her with his words. He will speak life, not take it. But when he says things that sound like destruction, when his tongue becomes a weapon, when his sentences feel like shame wrapped in syllables, that ain't a slip up, baby. That's a pattern. That's a spirit. That's a truth in disguise. Let me walk you through this soul to soul. When he tells you you're too sensitive, what he's really saying is, I don't want to be responsible for how I hurt you. When he tells you you'll never find someone better than me, what he's really saying is, I see your light and I'm afraid you'll realize I don't deserve it. When he tells you you're crazy, or you're insecure, you're doing too much, what he's saying without saying it is, I don't want to do the work it takes to love you properly. So I'll convince you that the problem is you. Baby girl, do you hear me? You are not crazy. You are called. You are not too much. You are magnificent. You are not hard to love. You've just been giving your love to someone unequipped to hold it. And I know it's hard to leave when you've built your life around someone's potential. When you've invested time, energy, prayers, and pieces of your soul into a man who keeps feeding you scraps and calling it love. But I need you to know you are not here to suffer in silence. You are not here to earn someone's love by shrinking, by breaking, by staying through the storms they keep creating. You are not here to carry the weight of a man who refuses to grow. There comes a time in every woman's life when she must decide, do I want to be chosen or do I want to be cherished? Because let me tell you, being chosen means nothing if you're not being respected. Being claimed means nothing if you're not being protected. And some of y'all are mistaking consistency for commitment. He keeps coming back, but that don't mean he loves you. That just means he knows you'll be there. Ooh, come on now. Some of us were raised watching women stay, watching women suffer, watching women hold families together with bleeding hands and broken spirits. We watched our mamas, our aunties, our grandmothers endure. So now we confuse endurance with love. But, beloved, Love is not something you have to survive. Love is not a battlefield. It is a sanctuary. It is a balm. It is a safe place to land, not a place that leaves you in pieces. So when he tells you, you're lucky I even want you, or no one else would put up with you, or I don't need you, what he's doing is waging war on your self-worth, one sentence at a time. And the longer you stay, the more you start to believe him. But I came here today to remind you of who the hell you are. You are the prayer your ancestors whispered by candlelight. You are the strength of every woman who came before you, and the dream of every daughter you'll raise after you. You are not disposable. You are not replaceable. You are not someone's emotional punching bag. You are a temple, a treasure, a throne. And you don't beg to be honored. You require it. I know it hurts. I know it feels like leaving means losing. But sometimes leaving is the most sacred kind of loving you can do for yourself. Sometimes the real heartbreak is staying in a place that keeps killing your spirit, one apology at a time. Don't wait until you're numb. Don't wait until you're a shell of the woman you used to be. Don't wait until your body starts breaking down because your soul is tired of pretending. If he tells you things that make you feel small, unworthy, unloved, if he uses his words to wound and then says you're overreacting, if he flips the blame, twists the truth, and leaves you questioning your own reality, that is not love. That is emotion manipulation. That is abuse. And I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how good the chemistry is. I don't care if he prays sometimes or posts Bible verses. If he cannot speak to you with honor, if he cannot correct you with care, if he cannot handle your heart like it's something sacred, then he is not your man. He might be your lesson, but he is not your destiny. Well, I want you to ask yourself something right now. If your daughter was in this same relationship, hearing these same words, what would you tell her to do? Then have the courage to take your own advice. I ain't saying it'll be easy, but baby, it'll be worth it, because every step you take away from what dishonors you is a step closer to your healing, to your joy, to your peace, to you. Don't be afraid to choose you this time. Don't be afraid to disappoint him if it means you finally stop disappointing yourself. You are worthy of a love that feels like home, not like warfare. You are worthy of a man who sees you, not just with his eyes, but with his heart. You are worthy of soft mornings, safe arms, kind words, and nights filled with rest instead of worry. So if he tells you these 10 things, not later, not next time, not when it gets worse, immediately, and don't look back. Unless it's to thank God you got out. Because the truth is, I've always been the one you were waiting for. Now act like it. Shh. Breathe, beloved. Just breathe. Okay, close your eyes for a moment. Put your hand on your heart. That's you. Still beating, still here, still sacred. I want you to hear me now, not with your ears, but with your soul. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not too late. You are right on time. You are not what he said about you. You are what God knows about you. And I know there are pieces of you scattered in places you wish you'd never gone. Words you let slide. Apologies you never got. Pain you kept quiet because you didn't want to be too much. Baby, you're allowed to gather yourself now, piece by piece, breath by breath, truth by trembling truth. You don't need his validation to be valuable. You don't need his presence to feel powerful. You don't, you don't need his love if loving him cost you yourself. Let the tears come. Let them. They are not weakness. They are water. And what do we know about water, baby? It cleanses, it baptizes, it renews. So if your eyes are swollen, if your chest is heavy, if your spirit feels tired, you are right where your healing begins. You've spent enough nights trying to fix what keeps breaking you, enough mornings pretending you're okay when your soul is whispering, I'm not. Enough time shrinking so someone else can feel big beside you. But now it's time to rise, to return, to remember. Remember who you were before he made you. Doubt your reflection before you believed silence was strength. Before you forgot that love is supposed to feel like peace, not punishment. You are the miracle. You are the masterpiece. You are the one who walks away and doesn't collapse this time. You are the prayer walking in flesh, the answer to your own cry. So stand tall, even if you have to shake. Walk away. Even if your knees buckle, speak the truth. Even if your voice trembles. Because freedom doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes in a quiet moment when you say no more and mean it. Let this be that moment, not just a speech, not just a video, but a vow, a turning, a sacred agreement between you and your spirit to never betray yourself again. Beloved, if he ever made you feel unworthy, hear me now. You are worthy. If he ever made you feel invisible, hear me now. You are seen. If he ever made you question if you were enough, hear me now. You are more than enough. And you don't have to earn what God already placed inside you. You don't have to beg for what should be given freely. You don't have to stay where you are, not being loved right. So let this be your benediction, your blessing, your breakthrough. Go where you are celebrated. Speak like you are whole. Walk like you are holy. And love yourself like your life depends on it, because baby girl, it does. May your spirit rise like smoke. May your peace return like a tide. May your heart open again, not for him, but for you.